Welcome to the Order of the Dragon. So today we're going to be doing another class explanation video for the Glaive class. I'm going to be explaining all the different individual skills and what you could use them with, as well as show you two duels at the end of the video, me implementing the PvP, the duel skill set. So first we have the spinning / level 3. So at the very beginning game, you're going to get this, which is not as good as this. There are extra effects to each of individual skills, as well as the Nodachi has the same thing. Whereas the Nodachi, when I was talking about that stab move, at the first beginning, level 1, it does not knock down your enemy. All it is, it leaves you forward. So it's not really useful at the very beginning of the game. At the later ends of the game, when you get to the level 3, it is extremely useful. So in here, this is immune to stun during the skill releasing time. This is on spinning slashing level 3. On spinning slashing level 3, it is very useful. So when someone uses a knockdown, a stun move on you, you can immediately counterattack with this before they hit you, and it breaks their stun. So it says immune to stun during the skill releasing time. So right as when you use this and they're in the middle of their move, you can break their stun and manage to actually stun them. This also stuns your enemy. So it's very useful attack. Then we have this one, Rage Outburst. Rage Outburst there is no special effects. This is all the same thing. It just really increases the time. But on this, it is very useful against Longsword because when you use it, it allows you to not get stunned when you hit their shield. So when you're using a basic attack and you hit someone's block, usually it will knock you back, stun you from hitting them. But when you use this, you won't get stunned at all. So you can continuously hit them with your basic attacks and not get stunned. So that's really useful. But also, against Longsword and Shield, this move right here, the Friend Break, is really good against Longsword and Shield because when they're defending, you can easily break, it does a huge amount of damage to their shield block, which it all depends on how the Longsword and Shield, that player plays that class. But usually when they play that class, I've seen people use defend a lot, and I've seen people not defend a lot and just keep attacking. It all depends on that player. Then you have this one. This is a swing attack, which does 2 swings and immunes the enemy. So inflicts stronger stun on an enemy. So the basic thing, sorry about that. This basic thing, it does a stun, but it's pretty short. But as you level up, it gets stronger and stronger. So it does a pretty good damage, but as well, it's at the level 3, it stuns them a lot, as well as it leaves them unconscious. So you have a long stun and you are able to counter. Right as when you use this, you are able to go to this, which does a huge long swing, which is able to knock down the enemy again. And when you do that, it locks them down for a very large, substantial amount of time, which you can immediately counter back with this. So if I am using this, I use this, and then I can immediately go to this, and then I can use this again. So you do this extreme amount of damage in that substantial time. But you have to do this quickly, like really quickly, because it is not, it has just the right amount of time to be able to get all of your moves off. But there are people that have, if you don't time it correctly, people will get out of it. So I'll use this, and sometimes they'll block, dodge this, but when they don't dodge it, they'll be able to dodge this, or they'll be able to dodge this, and, well, you miss it up. And you won't be able to use this. But if you hit this and then hit this, they can still dodge this. But there's sometimes if you get all the timing right, you can hit all of them. So this one right here is a rush attack. And this rush attack, it's not really good for sieges, as you know, you're going to be having all of your men. You're going to have all your spear levies, your shield wall, your swordsmen, and you're just going to charge in them. And you're going to hide behind your men and inflicting damage to the enemies and enemies in front of you, which this is really, I say it all depends on the player if you really want it. It's good for dueling against the Rangers if you are very accurate with this, because you have to actually be very accurate. You have to hit exactly, because if you miss, you miss. You know, there's like this 1 foot. You have to hit in the 1 foot area, 1 foot in the game area. If you hit to the left slightly of the enemy, it's gonna miss. So it's kind of hard because you're rushing forward. You're and you swing and it's gonna miss a lot. But if you're very accurate with it and you want to do it in duels, go right ahead. It can be useful. As it is, it does so it attacks first, and then you can use it again, which attacks twice and attacks a third time. So you have to continuously click the key when you do it, so to do the extra damage. And then you have this one right here. Each thing, it just really just increases the time and the damage. Increases friendly force attack by 15%. So this is very useful if you have a lot of allies around you. You can use this, and like, so you have a lot of allies and then you have a lot of enemies, and you need to take out the enemy in front of you rather quickly. So you can use this and increases your allies' defense, allies' attack for 6 seconds, as well as your attack for 6 seconds. So it's very useful in the sense of teamwork when you're in the siege battle and you need to take out enemies that are in front of you rather quickly. So as I'd said about this one, this is a knockdown attack that does a huge swing and a knockdown enemy, but this is rather useful and people can dodge this pretty easily. But if you get it right, it will do some insane damage. When you use this and then immediately use this, you do even more damage. So it's rather very useful, especially on siege battles too and duels. For this one, it swings the blade in rapid succession. It's not really, I don't really use it. It's not really good in a sense. You can use it and figure out on your own, but I don't really use it. So for now, I don't really know it, because I found that this one is really always better in a sense, because it has a huge radius, AoE radius. So you can hit a lot of the troops, AI troops in front of you, as well as hit a lot of the players behind them as well. So it's rather more useful than this one over here, as it's just swinging back and forth. If you want to use this against NPCs, I would say this would be better for NPCs, because like you would just be constantly swinging with this one, whereas this is one constant swing, so you can swing that, hit your enemy, and then you can dodge back and, you know, get away. That is all the skills for this. The PvE and PvP are rather similar in a sense. Like the PvE skill set and the PvP skill set, you can basically use the exact same thing. Like what I have right here, you can use this in both PvP and PvE. It works rather well in both areas. But it just really all depends on your personal taste, or depends on the unit, the enemy player that you're versing. Like I said, with the longsword and shield, this is useful. Rangers, this is useful. This one right here, it can be useful for every single unit if they like to block a lot. But I could definitely say that this skill set that I currently have, that I'm going to be showing you in the duels, are rather useful for both. All right, thank you guys for listening to my explanation, and let's get to the duels.
Okay, fine. I'm entering duel mode.
Duel mode activate.
Scene, go.
As you can tell, guys, that sometimes it breaks like that and messes up your attack, so you have to be a little bit of distance away from the enemy to use this move. And you can sometimes accidentally cancel your thing if you try shifting, try rolling, try blocking. It can mess up your attacks. didn't die? Wait, what? It showed that you died. You didn't have any health. How are you still alive? There we go.
You're not killing me.
Alright,
See, what happened was it was the same tick at the same time. So you did the damage at the same time that I did a heal tick. So I hit like 0.5 hit point.
Oh, did it again. Teleported like literally like right next to me, and I couldn't use the move. See, as you can see right there, when I used that move, it destroyed his stun move because it canceled his thing. It stunned him as well. What he's using right now is that touch move that I was talking about, but really it's only useful on specific classes. So the move that he's using right now, I would not recommend it using against another Glaive class or another really melee class, because there's really no point, as they're not trying to run away. Well, Longsword and Shield, they have a move that tries to run away, but they're most likely going to be using the healing and defense and attack and all that stuff. Alright, it hit that time. So yeah, you have to be a little bit distance away from him when you use the move. Oh, he canceled my move there. There we go. See, as you can see in that move, it increased the damage quite a substantial amount, so it is extremely useful to defeating your enemies.